My name is Michael Simmons and I'm the director.
My name is Trevor Dennis and I'm the producer.
My name is Courtney Burton and I'm the screenwriter and production designer.
This film's about a young girl named Sophie, and she's auditioning in front of 3 judges, and she's battling all these psychological demons that have been kind of weighing her down over the past few years. One of those being a knee injury that's kind of kept her from being able to follow her dream and passions.
It's down to this one last thing. She was so close to being a prima ballerina before her injury, but after everything else that's happened in her life, she just considers this to be her end-all be-all. At first, she attempts to begin her classic piece, and she's beautiful, but she hears her bones start popping and her limbs get kind of stiff, and she falls completely on the stage floor.
And the judges start to kind of dismiss her and kind of, act like it's not even worth it anymore. And so, kind of panicking, she asks for another chance. And then they allow her to have that next chance. And she stands up and she kind of collects herself. And then she kind of puts everything behind her. She kind of just lets go of, those demons and those weights that are holding her down. And she just kind of just does it.
Although our piece starts off almost normal and maybe modern in the terms of how we will be shooting it, because everything on stage is in her head and she is battling her psychological demon, everything that we see will be in other realms of her psyche. So she travels to different places that represent her inner turmoil and pain. And the characters each represent that form of psychological trauma that she's experienced.
There's a lot of different emotions in the film, and I think that's kind of what makes it so unique, because while she's fighting and while she's doing all these badass things, there's a lot of symbolism and metaphors that are kind of being thrown into the film to kind of help and evoke all the emotions that she's feeling at the time, whether it's through her abusive ex-lover, emotionally or physically, whatever you kind of get out of it from there. So the first time I read the script, what I got out of it was just thinking badass ballerina. If Mad Max danced is the easiest way to explain it. Just take the way that film is shot, take the the emotions you feel in terms of the action and all everything like that, and just put it into something as majestic as ballet.
One of the most important things about this script to me is that this character isn't necessarily fighting anyone else but herself. She is her own hero. And I think this is a very empowering analogy to anything that we face in our lives, like depression, anxiety. I mean, although that she's fighting her ballet competition or her former lover, the bottom line is that all those people are gone, but the scars are still there within her, and she has to get over it.
Some of the challenges that we're going to be facing is we're all students here. We don't have a whole lot of money. We're paying money to go to school to learn this craft. And so one of the things we're definitely facing is funding. We have a location that we're looking at now, the Garden Theater in Winter Garden.
This location is beautiful. It has rows of these beautiful red velvet seats and a very Victorian style theater and Juliet balconies to really sell the more artistic side of that. And the theater was built in the 1930s, so it has a lot of that Art Deco style, which I personally find amazing.
We walked into that theater and we just looked at each other and said, this is it. This is the theater that we really need and want. And our biggest issue is going to be paying for that. So far, we've raised enough funds to cover food and gear and just general necessary things that are required on a film set. But right now we just really need money for that facility. We have a $2,500 goal in mind, which is going to be going towards our main location. That's going to be a big chunk of it. And then the remainder of that's going to be going towards our cast and some of our crew. And we were lucky enough to stumble across Orlando Ballet. We went and saw their facilities, and it was an absolutely gorgeous facility. Their dance studio is overlooking this beautiful lake. And everybody there is just super welcoming and willing to help out. And they were actually able to provide us with 5 amazing dancers. And we're just super excited to be able to work with them. They're all really ecstatic to be a part of this. They're really passionate. They're all very talented. I think it's just gonna make our production so much better having them on board.
The moral of the story is empowerment. The story's been told many times before, but never in a way quite like this. I used the Black Swan comparison, and I only say that in the way that the film kind of looks and the way it's shot, and the fact that it's a ballet film. In terms of the feeling that we're going for, it's a complete, stark difference. Where Black Swan kind of it follows her. She goes deeper and deeper into her own mind, and it just gets darker and darker, and it doesn't necessarily have that happy ending. This film's all about empowering Sophie. She falls down, but she can get back up. And not only does she get back up, but she gets back up and she, puts on the best performance of her entire life. Once she was able to let go of all those, weights that were holding her down, her past demons and her inner demons, she was able to put on one hell of a show.